What's up, guys? Our Wrestling Podcast back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious along with Just the Total Package and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic, Wrestling Gets Real 8 for audio fans. Give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel, and check out exclusive content on Daily Motion at Our Wrestling Podcast. On social media, can you give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019 or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast? Jess, we're giving this a second chance here. We had a lot of audio issues a couple weeks back trying to share these videos. I hope this works this week. But I'm excited. We're in the eighth. We're in the 8th episode of Wrestling Gets Real. That's amazing, right?
I was just going to say that as out of our topics, this is number 8. We've never got to number 8 on anything else, right?
I think this is the one. Yeah, I love
Wrestling Gets Real.
It's one of my favorites. I love Wrestling Gets Real. It's a fantastic set. The Ocho. We'll see how it rolls. But here we go, man. Let's jump into it. The number 1 selection that you brought for us this week is Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Doink the Clown on it was May 8th of 2010 on Pro Wrestling Syndicate. Both guys apparently had a long history together, stemming from the Watts territory in Mid-South. I mean, this is fantastic. Watts in Mid-South. We're like going back to like what the 80s.
Like Watts territory starts a lot of shit.
It does, yeah. So after a show in the mid-'80s, Duggan was involved in an aftermatch brawl with members of the audience. Matt Bourne jumped in to defend Duggan at that moment. And while Watts in the locker room praised Bourne at the time, you guys.
I said, you don't need to do that. You don't come over the guardrail. And he's just...
one of the fans filed a lawsuit against Bill Watts and Duggan. During the brawl, Bourne kicked a guy when he was down, knocking him out and causing him to lose his eye.
Sorry.
That's crazy. Yeah. Duggan was sued for $30,000 and Watts lost his license to hold shows in that state.
You lose an eye and only get $30,000?
Yeah, but that's 1980. That's 1980 something money. It's like
right. And by the way, it's funny how Duggan was sued, but Bourne was the one who did it. It's the big name was the one who got the suit, even though he didn't even do it. It's
and
wild
he's in a clown costume. I'm just kidding.
You're right. You're right.
He's all and then kicks you right in the
leaves. He throws a smoke bomb and leaves. And Duggan's like, you know who you were because you were dressed as a clown.
At the indie show in White Plains, where there's 100 people there, and he's like, "Hey, Duggan, I'll hit you with a chair. You hit me with a 2x4." I'm like, "Matt, I'll go out cheer USA. You hold your ears. We'll put on a good show." Long story short, he hits me in the nuts, gives me a shot. I'm like, "Holy shit, here we go. We're going live." I asked him, "We're going to work or we're going to shoot?" Finally, I grabbed my 2x4. He jumped out of the ring. He grabbed a chair. I grabbed my 2x4. And so I tell the referee, I'm like, "Hey, I'm old school. We got trouble. Settle it back in the dressing room." I said, "Tell him I'll finish it. I'll go to the dressing room." So I go down in the dressing room. Down in the bottom is downstairs in White Plains. And I'm all keyed up. And I know Matt, he carries a weapon. He's not a good person. Mm-hmm. And to talk bad about too bad. I have my 2x4 next to me waiting for him because I know he's coming down armed.
Yeah, and obviously Duggan hold a grudge against Bourne for that after the incident.
I don't forget, tough guy.
Bourne, he left the territory quickly after the incident. You didn't have to kick him and lose his eye.
Thanks for sticking up for me, but you didn't have to do what you did, tough guy.
We're still looking for his eye.
In the head with a 2x4.
Oh, we're still looking for it. Sorry.
I like the way that no matter what, we're recounting the story, and they're their WWF gimmicks because that's the biggest wrestling organizations we grew up with.
But Duggan's got
a 2x4 and snot on his nose because he always foking foamed at the mouth and snot on his nose when he was Duggan in WWF. And Matt Bourne was Doink. He was in the cloud outside.
None of that was true here. It's funny.
Fan of the face, a drunk hillbilly, in the 80s. Oh,
but basically. Duggan felt he was intentionally left to take all the blame here. When they were both in WWF together in the early 90s, they were not on speaking terms.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me. Duggan was ending his WWF career, or
tough guy. La, la, la. I'm not listening.
Hey, Jim, I just really want to bury the hatchet.
No,
Intentionally Duggan. Okay. All right. Duggan was ending his WWF run at the time, and Bourne was the evil Doink the Clown. The two faced each other 18 years later at an independent show in 2010, and the match fell apart.
18 years later.
It's so crazy. Real.
I'm so mad at you.
I'm not happy about it.
And Bourne just walking off. I don't know if you have the video for this, but let me know if you're going to move on. Or not.
God, I
Okay,
do.
Yeah.
I like that they're a high school gym. This feud's not over,
No.
tough guy. You think we're on talking terms? We are not on speaking terms. Okay, there we go.
WCW, the deviousness of him.
You know what? Hassall's getting a little
In the ropes. He's in the ropes. The referee should be in there.
All right, gentlemen.
Referee should. Wow.
Referee, let's step in there.
Let's go. You want to work? You want?
You want to work?
You want to work?
Make your move this. Get him, funny man.
Get a funny
That was
man.
in great shape.
Get a funny man.
You want to work?
That's so wild.
Fight?
Wait, so I think Doink hits him with kind of like a stiff knee. That pissed
No,
off.
it was a low blow. It was a low blow right when the video started.
Look at Hacksaw's eye as one if he really wants to give it to Doink the Clown.
He sure does.
And now Pope standing up a little bit concerned. He's our commissioner, of course. Encouraging professionalism in the ring as Doink and Hacksaw seem to really have a personal disdain for each other.
Encouraging professionalism in the ring.
And there's another lockup. So far,
What if
not
he
really
recap?
And boom, there goes the dynamite, right?
Well, you know.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Apparently, just a couple of minutes ago, went for a cheap shot on Hacksaw, and I mean, good grief, the guy carried him around for a reason. Making up for a lack of, so let's give a guy a break.
Here's the sad part. Given
Poor
given
Doink. What a
Doink's
fucking
heritage,
wreck, right?
His career is Matt Bourne.
Yeah.
He has
Duggan's
a solid
not.
wrestling background.
Dave, I'm in pretty good
Chooses
shape.
not to use it.
They're not really talking to each other at this point. They're just really feeling each other out. Like,
Well, no, they had that weird alteration, and then you could just tell the mojo wasn't there. And there goes Bourne. He's fucking done. Just walk out. These poor freaking fans
The commissioner's got to step up here.
paid a week allowance to go see the show.
Out there with his chair, and Hacksaw's walking away from the ring.
All right, let's jump into the second set. The Great Suzuki versus the Dirt Bike Kid. Michinoku Pro 1999. In the summer of 99, Michinoku Pro invited Dirt Bike Kid to participate in a mask tournament where the competitors had to wear masks. Okay. One of the first matches in the bracket was Great Suzuki versus the Dirt Bike Kid. For DBK, this was an important match for him because
TBK.
not only
DBK.
For the purist, Dave, I'm just gonna. For the purist, it's great. Sasaki.
Suzaki, I'm sorry. Suzaki. Looks like Suzuki. I don't know. Because he was not only facing one of the Japan's greatest of all time, but he was also going against the owner of Michinoku Pro Wrestling, the Dirt Bike Kid. He found it odd that he was selected to wrestle in this tournament because DBK did not consider himself a masked wrestler. He also seemed rather upset that his match was going to be quick with Sasaki, winning by submission. In an act of rebellion, when Dirt Bike Kid entered the ring, he immediately took off the mask, making Sasaki superheated before the match had even started. Sasaki grew even more irritated as the Kid continued to force his spots in the match. No selling kicks from Sasaki, and this caused Sasaki to land stiff kicks to the Kid's back and face.
First of all, get a better gimmick than Dirt Bike Kid.
Right.
That would be fun.
That ref needs to get a new gimmick.
See, and he's
too.
not selling, so the Dirt Bike Kid here is not selling, and it's pissing Sasaki off. Oh shit!
Oh, I kicked him.
Oh!
You selling now? DBK? Heartbreak Kid?
That's what I was thinking the same thing, Craig. Like, imagine if Sean had to go over and work in this shit. He would have fucking lost his mind. Oh, that's stiff. He's trying to like put him to sleep there.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that was it. So, just to your point, a lot of this
Just
was
a
like you
straight
can't
up
fight it.
front chokehold, right?
Right. Yeah, that's so
Right.
weird. No, he was so pissed or whatever. And Sasaki is like a legend, like, and he's widely known. And it's like, dude, it's really funny to go back and see what made wrestlers mad back then. Really, the culture of wrestling for a long, long time was if you lose your spot, you lose faith. Like, it's weird. Everybody knows it's a performance in the locker room, but if you lose, they lose respect for you. It's weird. Like, wrestling's always been a very weird subculture. Nowadays, it's like, dude, whatever. You're booked to go over in the tournament. Let this dirt bike kid fucking ride an actual dirt bike to the ring. Who cares? Like, just let him do it. But back in the day, it was like, nope. Like, I want to beat this guy in 2 minutes. And then Dirt Bike Kid's like, well, I mean, I'm here to fucking perform. Like, I kind of want to be cool and, do something cool with you. And then he's like, no, not so much. And then so it just pissed him off. And then I guess the Dirt Bike Kid took his mask off out of disrespect or whatever. And that pissed Sasaki off. And he was kicking away. Not as fun as the Doink one, but still, like.
Well, I had to
just
say
love-
when you go ahead, Craig. Sorry.
He completely manhandled him when he wanted to. When he picked him up for like the front face lock in the show,
That's
it was,
what I
like,
was-
it was over.
yeah.
It was done. Like
I was
that
saying the same
skinny
thing.
little guy
Once-
in dirt bike pants has no fucking chance in the world.
Yeah, once he cinched him up and
He was
fucking
why are
pulled
you
back, I was
mocking him?
like,
He's the Dirt
"Ooh."
Bike Kid, Craig. That's what you use when you ride dirt bikes. He was wearing appropriate
Yeah,
gear.
man. I agree.
From Temecula,
Yeah,
California.
Yeah, cutting his own trails. Yeah.
Wearing a
When you
monster
cut
hat.
when you cut your own trails in the IE, you're a
There's a
fucking legend
monster hat.
in the dirt bike industry. Yeah, with a monster hat.
I once
were cool.
I once did a race with Jeremy. Oh, fuck, what was his name? What's the biggest BMX guy? Oh,
I
fuck,
remember.
yeah.
Jeremy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I remember because it was all the commercials, right? The dirt bike commercials, and it would be that
McGrath.
one name they would always.
Jeremy
Yeah.
McGrath.
Yeah, fuck.
We love you, Jeremy.
Love you, Jeremy.
And-
I got this thing that I do. I go like, and then I'll headbutt you.
And I do
And
that,
I'll-
and then I no sell all your shit, and then it's like, oh, okay, like, yeah.
Just
Okay,
let me get my
alright,
shit
alright.
in.
I got
This
this
is
little
in
fun
Japan,
Facebook I
okay?
gotta do.
This is Bakersfield, California. Things are a little bit different for the DPK.
Look, I know you're from Japan, but in Murrieta, you ride raw dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, nobody knows what that means. Ride raw dog. What does that
Never heard of
mean?
Fox Motorsports? Fox Motorsports.
There's an outlet
never-
just
never.
off Murrieta. Anyway, you don't know. Of course you don't know.
When I do this,
Yeah.
it means watch the kick. Watch the kick.
Dirt bike moves. That's his signals. That's his lingo. He's like, did I do this? Then don't fucking kick me. Did I pop the clutch?
Oh,
Then
God.
don't fucking yeah.
For audio fans, give us an Apple Spotify.
No, we have one more. David, we have one more.
The third one.
It's not. No, it's not there. What do you mean? It's not on my list. I don't have it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
You sack of
Piece of shit.
I literally don't have it.
shit. Dirt bike Dave. I don't know what that means.
No, I don't. I don't have a third one. Someone's gonna have to help me. Then it's not. It's not on this page.
Then this is easy actually. So this third one here
Yeah.
is Kevin Owens, and this clip is the most Kevin Owens clip you're ever gonna see. So when you see it,
Okay.
and I think did I get the commentary on this one? I think I got the one where he talks over it, and he's interviewing someone
Yes.
else, but he's talking.
I know what
about
you're
it.
talking about. Totally
Bottom
recall
row.
this.
And accepted my invitation. So I met him with a swift kick to the face, knocked off his glasses, everything. And then he was promptly removed from the ring and escorted out. What I didn't know at the time is that I realized this watching the footage later, he really wasn't, I don't think, coming in to do any harm. He like had a big smile on his face when he slid in the ring. I think he was just like, oh, I'll go in the ring. He didn't know any better, I guess. But I didn't know that. So I kicked him in the fucking head. First chance I got. But
First
anyway,
chance I
his
got.
douchebag buddy that I really wanted to get into the ring, he didn't. And then he
The
just
camo
stayed
guy?
there, watched the rest of the match.
Yeah, it was
Actually, I
the
think
camo
they
guy.
left about midway through.
Yeah, like you know.
No, yeah, so the camo guy was the guy that started it. And so Kevin Owens was sitting on the ropes and going, get in here. His friend, the guy next to the camo guy, he ran on the other side of the ring. So Kevin Owens is holding the ropes for the camo guy, which is the guy with the original
Right.
problem. And then, but the friend came in on the other side, and Kevin caught him out of his peripheral and said, "Oh fuck!" Like he thought he was being ambushed, so he kicks the fucking fan right in the face. And then he realized afterwards, he's like, "So that guy like probably didn't deserve that. It was the camo guy." I guess his friend rolled in. He's like, he was smiling real big, like, "Can I do an angle? Can I do a thing with you?" And Kevin Owens is like, "Oh,
Yeah, can I
right
come
his fucking
in?
Face. Yeah,
Yeah.
great stuff.
But imagine being that guy kicked in the fed by Kevin Owens. Like you talk about this shit like 10 years later. But yeah, it's funny how Kevin kind of defends him. But in my mind, I'm like, if you don't know that you shouldn't get in the ring, like what the fuck are you even doing there? I hate to be like the mark on that.
He deserved to get kicked in the face because if I'm Kevin Owens and I'm having a fight with the guy in the camo and I know they're friends because I saw them together, and then I see that he snuck off and got in under my peripheral, I'd be like, I'm kicking him right in the face. Like there's no question.
And most people wouldn't even question it.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Which is funny because we're making fun of old school, like on the other two clips, like fucking old school, fucking working each other up. But really, when you think about it, so imagine if Kevin Owens is in there, and imagine if he allowed the friend to come in, and imagine if the friend actually knew a chokehold and he chokes Kevin Owens out in the ring. That's going to live forever on video. Remember the time when a fan got in there? And then your character sort of deflated. Yes, it's made up, and yes, it's all show, but like, I get why in the 70s, when it was super kayfabe, and even like the early 80s, you do not, Bill Watts' rule, to go back to the the fight between Doink and Duggan, was that if you lost a fight like if you went to a bar after the matches and you lost a fight to a civilian, like you were fired and he would fire you. Because he's like, I can't have news outlets or people talking about how my wrestler got knocked out in a bar. So he always told people, if you're badass and you want to pick a fight, you make sure you win. If you don't win, you're fired.
Carney kayfabe, bro. Yeah, 100%.
So it's kind of crazy. So all that ties into wrestling gets real.
I mean, think about it like this, Craig, and I just want to put it in perspective for you too. You know, if you want to respond or just go off your own tangent, whatever, but remember when Chris Jericho caught Goldberg in a front face lock? Right? Was it Goldberg?
Room,
No.
Right? It was
Goldberg. In the locker room. Yeah.
It was
he
WWF
did.
locker room,
But again, it was never on video. No one ever saw it.
It was always a story they told.
But imagine if they did and that shit went all over the country. Imagine what that would have done to that persona at that moment. Like he would have lost millions of dollars. Like at that moment. I mean, you know, just I don't know, Craig, what do you think? It's just in perspective.
Yeah, I mean, you think of Orndorff and Vader when you heard backstage Orndorff knocks Vader out in flip flops, and you're like, what? How does that even happen? Like, just the mystique of Vader is gone. Like these old school wrestlers, absolutely. Like Freddie Blassie got stabbed.
What if we found out about Shawn Michaels? What if we found out about Shawn Michaels like right away, getting fucking jumped in a bar?
That's fine.
You've got to be
it's all good.
You got to be tough. Like be back. Be like they waved
their way through the crowd. Then you got to be tough.
Like the old NWA people were like fighting through the crowd to just get through this weird rope. There was no like
no security,
metal guards or barriers. It's like heels and it's crazy. I love it.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
You gotta be insane to be a professional wrestler at any point in like,
it really is true.
Now.
Even now, it's like because they're more movie stars now and like television stars because the world's kind of smart to them, you know. But you still, when you go on talk shows and they ask the fake question, you gotta fucking react. You gotta be you gotta be like fuck off, like you know, like it's crazy. Even to this day, wrestlers still have to be like. Well, fuck
look what happened in Australia this just like less than a year ago, right?
Yeah.
With Theory and
you know, an Australian,
it was crazy. And Theory was the one that kind of kept it cool. It was the hometown hero that kind of like laid into him, you know.
Yeah. So Dave, don't give too many spoilers away, Dave, because there's going to be a part 9. I'm going to milk this motherfucker out. We're doing. We're doing 20.
I love it. We're going to 20, baby. We're going to 20.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cut all the you fans. You don't even know. You're gonna see a clean product. We're gonna cut all the bullshit out. Any freezing, nothing. Don't worry about it. We got it.
All right, we'll step back in. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Higher Radio, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel, and check out exclusive content on Daily Motion at Our Wrestling Podcast.
I'm not going to Matt Bourne's birthday party if that's what you're asking.
Give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast. Or Dave, Jess, and Craig. This is the O.W.P signing off. Have a good one.
You want